My dear students, good evening to all of you. Am I audible to everybody? Am I audible? Is my voice is clear and the screen is clear? Is two things are clear, voice and screen. Both the things are clear? Yes. Very good. Now it's a time to see to move to the further topics. So what is our last class topic? What is our last class topic? Coming to OOPS. Under that, we started with last class classes. There I completed types of data members, types of methods. What is self and CLS? Programming examples, types of methods, types of data members, and programming examples related to pickling and unpickling, database communication with classes and objects completed. Okay, and today we are entering into the most important area called constructors in OOPS. We are discussing constructors in OOPS we are talking. Constructors in OOPS we are talking. Let us start understanding about constructors in OOPS. Let's start. I'm taking constructors in OOPS. Take care students, very important. First 15 to 20 minutes, I'm talking about the concept. Take care about all the students. Take care about students. Now I'm entering into concept here. All the students must be in the mute. All the students must be in the mute. Who is this? All the students must be in the unmute. Who is that fellows keeping the mute? Students in the online. Am I audible to you, everybody? Is my voice is clear? And how the people are listening the classes by keeping a big music and then people are in the online. Hmm? Okay, so let us start. My sound is clear and everything is perfect. So from your side, check it out. Rajnit, Ranjit. So always you are having a problem. Hmm? Subject problem, voice problem, all of so many problems. So is my voice is low or crystal clear? Is my voice is low or crystal clear? Okay. So I'm entering into the further. Today's topic is constructors in OOPS. Constructors in OOPS I am going to talk. Yeah. Take care about this. I am going to discuss about constructors in OOPS. Take care, my dear students. Here I am talking about the most important area. Constructors in OOPS I am going to enter. All the students carefully listen. And here I'll take one first. What is the need of constructors? Here you see importance and purpose of constructors, types of constructors, and rules for using constructors. That is our today's class concept. That means when you come to the concept of classes concept, when you come, syntax you come, syntax for defining a class, syntax for defining a class. class name, class level data members, instance method, class level method, static method, and I'm going to take up what in it. This I'm talking in today. And here you see data members, methods, and a constructor. This area I'm talking inside the class. I'm talking this part inside the class. Very carefully try to follow. Now students, very carefully try to follow here. Now students, enter into this area. Take one example here. Take one example, all of you. Let us take one example. Others, I'm taking Python here. Now, class student. Class student I'm taking. And I say pass. Coming to main program. Coming to main program. This is the program for demonstrating creating an object creating an object and placing the data placing the data creating an object and placing the data. Okay, placing the data. Now I'm writing S is equal to student of. What is the content of S? All of you answer my question. All of you answer my question. What is the content? Everybody try to answer it. What is the content? What is the content? Guna Sai, no audio you are saying. All of you, is my voice is clear? Is my voice is clear first of all? See students, when I am admitting the students, that time we are losing the audio. And if I don't admit them, people are getting a problem. And the admins are not concentrating on admitting the students. So that is the main problem what we are facing it. Anyhow, let us, I'm not going to admit them because the admins are going to take care about admitting that. So I'm going to start with content of S. Content of S is equal to, now I'm going to take up, I'm writing comma S dot underscore dict, underscore dict. I'm writing it. Underscore dict. So even my controls are not working. S dot underscore dict. I'm writing it here. Is it okay, students? Is it okay? Am I clear, students? Is it okay now? Okay. So what is the answer now? What is the answer is coming now? What is the answer is coming now? S dot dict of empty. So it is going to get it. It is going to get it here. The answer we are getting empty like this. Empty. Let us save this code. Let us save this code once. And I'm going to take up that. I'm writing non-constructor example1.py. Non-constructor example1.py. Go to the place. Here I'm taking under oops, and I'm taking constructors here. Constructors I'm taking. There I'm writing the program name called non-constructor example1.py. Non-constructor example1.py. Go to the command prompt. And try to observe it. See this now. Observe this carefully. Here, E colon, CD, caviar, Python, saying 6 p.m. There I am writing CD, oops here, CD, classes, or constructors. I'm taking that. Inside of that, there is a file. That is a non-constructor example one.py. Py, I'm taking that. Here I'm going to take it. Content is called empty. Content is called empty. Content of S is equal to empty. So this is the data which is printed empty. Next one, I'm going to take up content of S is equal to S dot underscore underscore dict of got the data. How can you place the data inside of that S? Can anybody can answer? How can you place quickly? I'm connecting to the constructor concept. How can you place the data? How can you place the data? How can you place the data? How can you place the data in object S? Answer my question, all of you. How can you place the data in the object? How can you place the data in object S? Answer my question. With the 2 points, you will write it. With the 2 points. With the 2 points, you can access. With the 2 points, you can access. One is through object, one more is through instance method. One is through object, one more is through instance method. With the two things you can access, you can place the data. Okay. So with the two things you can place the data. Okay. One is s dot sno is equal to 10. One is called s dot sno is equal to 10 is equal to 10 is equal to like this. S dot name is equal to something like rs. S dot marks is equal to something like 45.67. This is the data. This is the data. Okay. So this is one way. Another way is what? Another way is what? This is I'm printing later after making printing. Now I'm going to take up. Here I'm going to take up. Run this code. Run this code. Now I'm going to take up RS and I need to write properly this one. Yeah. Look at students. Follow me. This is an empty. Later that empty brackets data placed with our own data. Here this is an empty data placed with our own data. Observe here empty. That empty is later we are placing the data. That means it is a two steps process. First it is called, it is a first step. In step number 1, created empty, created empty, created empty. In step number 2, in step number 2, in step number 2, placed what? Placed what? Data. Placed data. It is placed data. Placed data. So S dot dict of in step number 2, placed data. Here I am writing. So students, these people who are joining now is getting disturbance in my class. Placed data here. Step 2, admins, you join them whenever they are joining in the class. Otherwise, class is disturbing. Arvind, admin, the host, both of you join them when they arrive it. If I join it, they are getting problem in the audio. Please see the class which is going on. We look at where the students are coming or not. So content of S is equal to, so here S dot dict of step 2 placed the data. This is containing the data. It is a two steps process. This I don't want. Just save this. I don't want this process. What is happening? Placing that and we are placing this one. This is called a two steps process. I don't want. What I want, whenever an object is created, I want to place my own data. Whenever I create my object, I want to place my own data. Whenever I create an object, I want to place my own data. To place my own data, I should not go like this normal approach. This is one of the approach non-constructor. Created an object, later we place the data. We don't want a two steps process. Another way is what? This is one way. Another way is what? This is the one way. Let me copy that. Let me take the new program. I'm going to take up. Others, I'm taking Python here. Place this. Non-constructor example 2 dot py. And how can you place the data in an object? Yes. How can you place it? By using the method. Yes dot. Yes dot. How do you go for it? Read stud data. Read stud data. It is a function name. I need to go for it. How do you place the data here? Def read stud data of self. I will write it. Self dot SNO is equal to 10. Self dot name is equal to RS. Self dot what? Marks. Self dot marks is equal to 44.44. This is called one more thing. I am calling. We are calling the method explicitly. We are calling the method explicitly. That means if I don't call the method explicitly, we are calling the method explicitly. We are calling the method explicitly. Then only we are getting the object is containing this part. Let us run this data once again. Here I am writing once again. Save this code. Let us move to that. So here I'm going to take up. Here I'm going to enter into this place. Students, take care. In this concept, constructors, you save it. Non-constructor example 2.py, save this. Here I'm writing, run this code. Py, here also, two steps process. First step is this one. Second step is this one. I don't want. Like what? When the BTech is completed, brain is empty. Brain is empty. This is the first step. Next, what are you doing? Next step you are going. You are joining the course. Later, what is happening? Second one is brain is full with knowledge when you read the notes daily. This I don't want. This process I don't want. Whenever I join the BTech, I want to initialize my brain with a brain full. I want to get the knowledge in the college only. I want to get the knowledge in the college only. I don't want the second step. This is the best approach. Whenever I join in my BTech, I want to initialize, I want to initialize, I want to initialize, I want to initialize my own data. I want to initialize my own data. This is what I'm expecting. Are you able to get my dear students? Are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow this now, students? Are you getting my dear students? Quickly, everybody need to respond. Need to respond. Please check it your side. I'm getting everything. All classes are running well. You need to take care. If your internet connection is not stable, you are not able to receive me. When your net is connection is good, you will understand. So this process I don't want. Created an empty, calling the method explicitly. This is called step number 2. Calling the method explicitly. This is called number 2. Calling the number 2. Here we are going to talk about. Step number 2. Placed the data. This process we don't want. These two steps process we don't want. What is expected? I want to go for. Whenever we create an object, I want to place my own data without leaving the object empty. Did you understand my intention, students? Did you understand my intention? What is my intention here? My intention is what? I want to place my data. I want to place my data. I want to place my data here. I want to create an object. Look at that. I'm writing here class student. There I'm writing pass. What is this now? Main program I'm going to take it. S is equal to, what is this now? Student. This is known as which statement? Object creation. Object creation. This is called object creation. This is called object creation. S is equal to student of object creation. This object creation, the moment when object is created, immediately, I want to place it. 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 What I want to place it here? Look at who is this people? I want to place immediately. Immediately. So I want to place it immediately. What? Data to be initialized. Data to be placed. This is known as what? Object initialization. Object initialization. Are you able to follow now? The moment when object is created, immediately data to be placed. Data to be placed. This is known as what? Object initialization. Is it clear, my dear students? Object initialization. This type of object initialization is known as what? This type of object initialization is done by what? Constructor concept we can call. Is it understandable? Did you understand the theme of it? Did you understand the theme of it? Aditya, sir, everyone are in another meeting. How can you say and enter into another meeting? I already posted the link for you. How can you go for another link, students? How can you go for another link? I posted yesterday link now. Yesterday I posted the link. I Google Classroom. How can you go to other link? So I posted already. If you go to other link, we are not responsible. So coming to the point, object creation, we are entering into the object creation. Then when the object is created, let us leave that link part. I already posted. If you are not able to contact, if you are not able to use it, you are away from the technology, leave it. S is equal to student of object creation, immediately data to be placed, which is known as object creation. How to go for object creation now? The moment when object is created, I want to make it to call one method. How it is getting initialized, how is the data is placed. The moment when object is created, implicitly here I am writing. The moment when the object is creating, when the object created, when the object created, when the object created, PVM calls one method. PVM calls one method. PVM calls one method. Calls one method. PVM calls one method. That method need not to call explicitly. PVM calls one special method. PVM calls one special method. PVM calls one special method, which is not necessary to call explicitly. That method name is known as what? Constructor. That method name is known as constructor. How to define that? Now I'm going to say def underscore underscore init. Why it is special? Because constructor name is always must starts like this. Def underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. I wrote self. I wrote self. I wrote self. Def underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. Under that, I am writing. Here I am writing a small message. I am writing a small message. Print. Print. What I am writing? I am from constructor. This is known as what? Constructor definition it is called. Online students, voice is breaking because of online students are going on joining. The admin is admitting them. During that admin, my voice will cut. That is a technical problem. When everybody join on time, there is no technical issue. 640 people are still joining. then what can we do? If everybody join, there is no problem for us. So if they go on joining like this, so we are helpless. They should have the first of all timing. So it is clear from my side. It is clear. I have a tester in my home. Its voice is very perfect. I have voice recognition. Things is there. I have any problem, I only will say. I am from constructor. I am from constructor. I am taking that. Here you see, object is created. Object S is equal to object. S is equal to student of. The moment when object is created, PVM calls one special method automatically, which is known as constructor. What is the difference between method and constructor? Method need to call explicitly like that. Method need to call explicitly like that. And a constructor will call automatically during the object creation. That difference you try to understand. That difference you try to understand. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. Here, try to understand me. Careful. Here I took it. Here carefully try to follow. Execute. Object creation makes the PVM to call this method automatically. Which method is calling? This method is calling. This is known as what? Constructor definition we can call. This is known as what? Constructor definition. Constructor definition we can call. Constructor definition. Constructor definition. Constructor definition we can call. So students, this is known as a constructor definition. Constructor definition. Look at object creation. PVM calls a special method automatically, that is known as what? Constructor. So I will go for running this example. I'll go for running this example. Save this now. So execute that part. No video link will be sent. Listen the class. So here it is going to be the answer. I am from constructor. I am from constructor. I am from constructor. I am from constructor. I'll go to this place and I am going to initialize. So object creation, immediately data will be placed. Object initialization will be done. So here, the moment when object is created, I'm writing one important line here. I'm writing one important statement here. Here I am writing object creation makes the PVM to call which method? To call. So coming to the point of it, to call, what is this? Constructor. Automatically I am writing. Automatically. Object creation makes the PVM to call the constructor automatically. Like a method, you need not to call explicitly. Let us look into this area now. Understand and execute. See this now. Once again, I am running this code. See that the moment when object is created, without any special calling like that yes dot some method name, automatically this is calling. What is the difference between object, method and constructor? Method needs to be called explicitly. Constructor will call implicitly. So coming to the point of it, dear students, already I posted the link yesterday night only. Yesterday night only I was posted the link. Okay. If you don't see the Google Classroom, we are helpless. Myself only posted the link. Now only I got the link and all. We are not responsible. I already posted the link yesterday night only. 24 hours before only I posted. If you don't know how to see the Google Classroom, we are helpless. I already posted. So how can you say that link is, I already said when I said yesterday, I post the link at 8 o'clock. You please go through before the class joining, I said. I already posted. Interesting students already joined. Okay. Because when you say, sir, now only got the link means what? We get from our side, no problem. Especially my classes will not have that. Come to the point. Student of object creation makes the call automatically. Automatically. So coming to this place, done. Here I am writing because just if you say like that, I feel for it. SNO is equal to 100. Yes, self dot name is equal to RS. Self dot what marks is equal to 45.67. And I put the data immediately. So come to the point of it. Print the data. How do I print the data? Yes dot. Here I am writing content of S is equal to yes dot underscore dot dict dot dict. Run this example. Automatically, this is initialized. Execute this code and see this code and see students. Py, this execute automatically. Okay, I did not save this code. Save it, run this code. Now see that I'm from constructor. Immediately object was created. Earlier code you see, non-constructor example you see. Earlier it is initialized with empty. Now it is initialized with what? I have the what? Earlier empty, now it is initialized. Now here completely initialized in the beginning itself. Which is the better one? Which is the good approach of initializing the object with the constructor? So what is the difference between constructor and method that you need to understand first? Constructor will do what? Method will do what? Constructor will do what? Method will do what? That is an important. Constructor will initialize the object automatically when an object is created. Method is used for performing the operation on the initialized data. When you go to the bank to open an account, you will initialize your account with a minimum balance. When you go to the method, after initializing your account with a minimum balance, next day you are going for what? Deposit method, balance method, withdraw method. You are taking something like that kind of methods. Are you following me? Initializing the account details done by what? Constructor. Account initialization done by what? Constructor. Automatically next what is happening? Method. Method will be used for what? Performing the operation. Tell me now, initialization to be done. What is meant by initialization? Placing our own data is called initialization. Placing our own data is called initialization. And after initializing the data, we will perform the operation by the methods. So initialization first term, operation first term, initialization first term, operations first term. Come on, quickly. Initialization first term, operations first term. So initialization first. Good, Ramakrishna. Initialization first. Later, methods will come. So did you understand the need of what? Constructor in the class? A class is a collection of data members will be there, methods will be there, constructors will be there. Why constructors are used for initializing the object? Why methods are required to perform the operation? Are you understanding the need of writing constructors in the class? Are you understanding the need of writing constructors in the class? Quickly, everybody. Already time is wasted to give explanation for the students regarding the link. So, constructors are used for initializing the object. Methods are meant for performing the operation. So, come to this place. You have seen this example and you printed the data. Instead of printing the data, here itself I can print it. Let it be. Three things are there. I'll print it now itself. What I'm printing now? I'll print. Here I'm writing yes.sno s.сно. I'm writing self.сно. Self.сно. I'm writing self.сно. Here I'm writing self.сно, comma, self dot what next? Name, name, comma, self dot what I am writing here, marks. I'm taking something like this. I'm taking something like this. Execute now. Execute this data. Now see this now. Execute this part. I got it. The data is printed. Are you following now? If you create another object, careful. Another object I am creating. The moment when object is created, makes the PVM to call the constructor automatically. Second object I am creating. That object also initialized with the same data. I'll explain one more example. Multiple examples I will explain. So go for that. Again, constructor is calling, same data initializing, same data initializing. So students, how many objects are created? Two objects are created. How many times constructor is calling? Two times constructor is calling. Two objects are created. Two times constructor is calling. Two times constructor is calling. So finally, I'm going to give a conclusion that two times constructor is, two objects are created. Immediately two times constructor is calling. So to have the performance point of it, to have the performance point of it, I'm going to use it constructor for initializing the object, and constructor is going to be providing performance point of it to initialize the object. To do the operations on the object, we go for what? Methods. So in a class, what is compulsory to write? Constructor I will write for initializing the data, and methods I will write to do the operation. So finally, I am writing a conclusion. Next, this one you look at for that. This is initialized with what data? Same data is initialized. Same data. Let us copy this now. Be careful. Next example I am taking. Next example I am taking. Take care. And here I am writing constructor example 2.py. Yes, Mahesh Batu. For initialization purpose, constructor already said object initialization done by the constructor. Now, this point you take it. Another point you take it. S1 is equal to, here what I did earlier, it is having same data for two objects, but S1 data is called what? 100. Next data is called RS. Next marks is called 45.67. See, you are passing three values here, and this line you observe it, S1 is going to self, and 100 to go to the next parameter. RS should go to the next parameter. 45.67 go to the next parameter. I will write here SNO, comma, S name, comma, yes name, comma, I'm taking here yes name, comma. Next is called, here I will write SNO, comma, yes name, comma, marks I'm taking. Some formal parameters I'm taking, marks I'm taking. I'm from constructor, SNO is equal to SNO, which is received from the main program. Here I got it. And next is called what, yes name, I got it. Yes name, I got it. Here I'm getting yes name, and I'm getting what, marks. Marks I'm getting it. Marks I'm getting it. So a self.sno, self.name, self.marks. So here we are getting this type of data. When I'm going to get this data, see what is happening. Understand S1, the moment when this object is created, what is the flow? S1 address is there in self, and 100 is there in SNO, RS is there in SNAME, 45.67 is there in the marks. And this data is initializing here, and we printed the data. Look into that, save this code, and look at this. And here I'm going to write it 2.py, 2.py, writing here, done. Execute this code, students. See the now, py, here I am writing example 2, 100 RS 45.67. I am from constructor. Next object I want to create. Next object. Be careful. Very, very careful. S2 is equal to 200, 200 TR. I'm going to take it TR and I'm going to write it 66.67. Object creation makes the PVM2 call constructor automatically. I'm going to take up 3.py. Okay, 2.py of course. Now I'm going to take it. I'm going to take up now py constructor example 2.py. Different data I'm getting. When I was executed first example, it was initialized with the same data, multiple object initialized with the same data. But the second example initialized with a different data. Go to the next example. Next object I will take it. Next object I will take it. S3 I am taking S3. There I am writing 300. Now I am writing MC and the value is going to be called what here, MC. Now I'm going to take it here, something like 76.67. Object creation makes the PVM to call the same constructor, execute by passing different values. See that I got a different type of constructor number 2. I got different type of values, we got it. Different type of values, we got it. I hope that you people understand the concept of what? The concept of this word. I think students, this is clear. Here we understood this is the constructor, observe, which is having same values. And this constructor taking only self as a parameter. This constructor is known as default constructor or parameterless constructor. Parameterless constructor. We call it as a default constructor or what? Parameterless constructor we can call. Parameterless constructor. So here I mention it parameterless constructor. I am from default or parameterless constructor because only self is taken as a parameter. No other formal parameters are there. We call it as a default constructor. So here I will write it. P makes the PVM to call which constructor? Default or parameterless constructor. Makes the PVM to call default or parameterless constructor. Right? Go to the next area. Next area I'm going to enter. Go to the next example. Along with the self, you are passing the parameters. Along with the self, you are passing the parameters. This is known as what? Parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor definition. So I'm writing here, I am from parameterized constructor. SNO, along with the self, we are passing this data. Parameterized constructor definition. We got the data here. So PVM calls parameterized constructor. PVM call parameterized constructor. So here I am writing parameterized constructor automatically. Dear students, how many types of constructors are there now? Tell me, how many types of constructors here? Two types. Two types of constructors are there. Number one, tell me, number one, default constructor. Number two, parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Two things. Default constructor will initialize multiple objects with what values? Same values. Default constructor initializes multiple objects with the same values. Be careful. Parameterized constructor initializes multiple objects with different values. How can I recognize it is a parameterized constructor? By taking self and then other parameters are there. That is called a parameterized constructor. Along with the self, different parameters are there, it is called a parameterized constructor. Only self is there, that is called a default constructor we can call. Only self, that is default. So students, this part you are, what is the constructor now? What is the constructor now? Can you answer me? Constructor is a special method or normal method? Because this name is a fixed name, you need to write it. Is it a special method or normal method? It is a special method. I'm giving a conclusion. A constructor is one of the special method which is automatically called by PVM, automatically or implicitly called by PVM during what creation? Object creation. The role of constructor is to initialize the object with our own values. Placing our own values in the object is called object initialization. Once again, I will repeat. A constructor is one of the special method which is automatically or implicitly called by PVM during the object creation. During the object creation. A constructor is one of the special method which is automatically or implicitly called by PVM during the object creation, whose role is to place our own data without leaving object empty. That is known as what? Initializing the object is nothing but placing our own data without leaving the object empty. That entire part is known as object initialization we can call. I hope I am clear. I hope I am clear. Am I clear about my discussion, student? Am I clear about my concept? Yes. Fine. I will go to one small rule I want to tell you. Seema, look at. If you look at this constructor, inside the constructor, you cannot write return statement. Return, now I am coming to the property, return. Return of 10, you cannot write it, error. That means constructor job is what? To place the data only. To place the data only. You cannot return the value. Its job is to initialize the data. Its job is not to perform the operation. If you do the operation, result will come. That result you can return from the method, but you cannot return the result from the init. You cannot write return 10. Syntax error will come. Type error will come. Int cannot return. But what you can return? You can return only the value called none you can return. None only you can return. You cannot return the value called 10. You cannot return the value called 10. You cannot return the value called 4, 5. We cannot return the value called 4, 5. You cannot return the value called true. You cannot return the value called 2 plus 3j. You have to return the value called only none. You cannot return any more value. Return of what? 100. Return of 100. It is an error. It can return only none. Just let us run this and see that. Because I wrote in constructor example 1.py. Let us run this example. Constructor example 1.py. So I got it. Type error. Int should return none only, not int. Look at that. Not int. It has to return only none. Go to that. It should not return int. I'm writing 5, 6. Save this data. I'm writing here. I'm going to get it. Should return what? None. Not float. Not float. It should not return float. It has to return only what? None only has to return. Now I'm writing what here, I'm writing in the double quotes. Python I am writing. Python I am writing. You see, students, I got it. Should not return str. Should return only none. That means no return statement. If at all you want to write return statement, you have to write none. You see that output is coming. My dear students, apply your intelligence. Writing none, is there any fun in writing that? Writing none, is there any use? Come on, answer my question. Writing none, is there any use? No. Writing none is as good as what? Nothing to write anything. I'll remove it. That's why the rule is what? The rule is what? Constructor will not return any value. Constructor will not return any value. I hope you are understanding. I hope you are understanding. What is the rule of it? Now I'm preparing one small properties. I'm preparing one small properties. What are the properties or characteristics? Number one, the name of the constructor. The name of the constructor is what? Underscore underscore init of what? Self, comma, comma, comma. I will write it. Next is called second one. It is always used for initializing the object. Called by PVM, called by PVM during what creation? Object creation. During object creation. Called by PVM automatically, 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 or what? Implicitly, implicitly, implicitly. Called by PVM, PVM automatically or implicitly during object creation. What is the role of that? It is known as what? Object initialization. It is used for object initialization. Number three, constructor. Constructor can't return any value. Constructor cannot return any value. Constructor can't return any value. Can't return any value. Can't return any value. That means it can return only what it can return only, none it can return. These points you have seen already. And the third point, fourth point, and fifth point is which I am explaining in the next coming topics, which is called in the inheritance, which is going to come, my dear student. Because if you look at that, constructors are constructors in overriding. Further constructor concept once again coming. There I will tell you. In Python, this is the word I am writing, students. In Python, I am writing. In Python, constructors can be constructor can be inherited. In Java, constructor cannot be inherited. In Python, constructors can be inherited. That's why I wrote a heading called in Python. Again, I am saying in Java, constructors cannot be inherited, but in Python, constructors can be inherited. One more. This point I will show you. Right now, don't worry. I'm not showing the concept of it because you don't know inheritance. In Python, constructors can be overridden. Constructor can be overridden. Constructor can be overridden. In Java, constructor cannot be overridden. In Python, constructor can be overridden. My dear students, I hope it is. These are the properties of what? Constructors. Let me go for one more thing. I think these properties are clear. Is it clear, my dear students? Can you confirm? These 2 points I will show you in the further. Because in our index you see constructor, overriding constructor. This I am going to explain you very perfectly. Now I am showing one small documentation for you. Come to Whoops here. I'm going to take it. Constructors here. A small example I am going to take up. Please look at all of you. Read out in your read by yourself. Constructors in Python. The purpose of constructors in Python is that to initialize the object. To initialize the object. Initializing the object is nothing but placing our own data in object without leaving object empty. Initializing object is nothing but placing our own data without leaving object empty. That is known as what? Initializing the object. So constructors are meant for initializing the object. Methods are meant for performing the operation. That's all. Single line answer. Definition of constructor. A constructor is one of the special method which is automatically or implicitly called by PVM during object creation. That is an important point. Method to be called explicitly by using an object. When you call the method, then only method will execute, but constructor will execute automatically during the object creation, and whose purpose is to initialize the object without leaving the object empty. Without leaving the object empty. Without leaving object empty, initialization can be done. Syntax for defining constructor. DEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self comma list of formal params if any. See, my dear students, block of statements performs initialization. That is what we did. That is what we did. Block of statements, we did initialization. We did initialization. Okay. Now, rules for constructors. Rules. The name of the constructor is always DEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. Constructor will be called by PVM automatically or implicitly during object creation. Constructors will not return any value except none. Except none, it won't return anything. In Python, constructor can participate in inheritance process. In Python, constructors can be overridden. Fourth, fifth, don't worry. In the inheritance concept, once again, inheritance I will explain. This is called constructors in Python. How many types of constructors? Next concept is what? Constructors in Python. Come on, answer my question once again. How many types of constructors are there? Quickly, I need the answer. Constructors are of how many types? Two types. Default constructor, parameterized constructor. One more example. Look at. I'm going to give you one more example. Program for demonstrating. Again, I'm going to show program for demonstrating default constructor. Default constructor. I'm going to take it. Well, dear students, class test. One simple example I am showing. DEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. I forget which constructor it is. I forget which constructor. I am from which constructor. I forget this one. Default constructor. Good. Default constructor. Nice. I am writing self dot A is equal to 1, self dot B is equal to 2. I'll print both the values. Value of A is equal to, I'll write it dot format of self dot A. Self dot A. Print of what? Value of B is equal to, I'll write it here dot format of self dot B. Self dot B. I'll write it. Come on to the point back. Main program, I'm going to take it. Main program. S1 is equal to T1 is equal to T1 is equal to test of. This is called object creation. Object creation. PVM calls which constructor? Default constructor. PVM calls a default constructor. Default constructor. Default constructor. Okay. Now automatically it is initialized with what? 1 and 2. Next, I'm going to take up T2 is equal to what? See, when the new student is coming, my cursor is also not moving further. Because when the new student is arriving in this app, my cursor is also not moving. That time you will get a sound difficulty. If the admin will admit them immediately, class will be smooth. If they are waiting in the lobby, we'll get a problem. So T2 is equal to this one. See, cursor is not working because of some problem is coming in that aspect. This is called what? Object creation calls the constructor. How many times constructor is calling? 2 times. Same values are coming. Test.py. Test.py. Default, I will write here. Default, FAULT. Default constructor example.py. Default constructor example.py. See this now. Carefully try to follow. Here I am writing. Under that, I am going to take up your place 6 p.m. Under that, oops. Under that, I will go for a constructor. Default constructor I am taking. Coming to this area, execute. Py, here I am getting it. 2 times same answer is coming. Default constructor is a one which takes only self as a parameter. No more parameters are taken. And a default constructor purpose. When should I go for a default constructor? When you want to initialize multiple objects with the same values, that time I'll go for a default constructor. Parameterized constructor I am taking now. Parameterized constructor I am taking now. So here I am going to take it parameterized constructor. Carefully try to follow. Python here I am taking here. Program for demonstrating parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. There I am taking parameterized constructor. Very, very important. Parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Example. There I am taking a comma b. A comma b I am taking. I am from parameterized. I am from parameterized constructor. I am from parameterized constructor. Self dot a is equal to a. Self dot b is equal to b. Self dot a. Self dot b. I am writing there 10 comma 20. And I am writing there that 100 comma 200. Be careful. And what is this flow? Calls what constructor? Parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Here, parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. I am writing T1 is equal to 10 of this one. And T1 is placed in self, and 10 is stored in this, and 20 stored in this place, and placed this data. Next, T2, this process. T2 address is there in where? Self, and 100 is there in A, and 200 is there in B. Now execute this. Parameterizer constructor example dot py. So here, go to the place. Here I'm going to this 6 p.m. I'm entering into this place. Oops, constructor, and I'm going to take up this. So here I'm going to py, entering into this. See that 10, 20, 100, 200, different values. When you want to initialize multiple objects of same class with a different values, go for parameterized. What is the definition of parameterized? Parameterized constructor is one which is taking parameters along with the self. That is known as parameterized constructor. Syntax def underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self comma list of formal parameters. Earlier one is what? Self comma no formal parameters. No formal parameters. Only self is there. I am from default constructor. So I'm going to enter. So default constructor written, parameterized constructor written. Now I am going to put a question. Or up to here, is it clear? Students, up to here, is it clear, ma? Respond all of you. Up to here, is it clear? Yes. Now I am going to tell you a beautiful wording here. Students, I am going to tell you, sir, I want to write both the constructors. Is it possible to write both the constructors? I am going to tell you. That is my next example. Look at students. Here I am writing. All of you. Be careful. Be intelligent now. I am asking one question also here. I am trying to write a default and parameters, demonstrating writing, writing, I'm writing default and parameterized constructor. Default and parameterized constructor. Here I am writing. Suppose I am writing here this constructor. Test. Or you start like this. Like this, you start. Here I wrote this point, you don't worry. This is called which constructor? Default constructor. Just take a look at default constructor. I am writing. I'll remove this AB. My wording is what? 1, 2. This is 1, 2. Printed the AB. Done. Execute once. I'll get the answer called what? Save this now. Done. Go to this place. Here I am writing PY. Here I am writing 1, 2. I am from default construct 1, 2 printed. Okay. Next I am writing, be careful, T2 is equal to test of 1020. Now this is called object creation. What is this calling? PVM calls which constructor? Come on, respond. Parameterized constructor. PVM calls which constructor? Parameterized constructor. It will go to where? Go to the class. Go to the class. Looking for what? T2. Okay. What about the 10 and 20? It is not there. It is going to give you error. Error or not? Type error. Save this code. Save this code. See the answer. What is happening? Type error. So you have given 3, but you are taking 1. You are giving 1 only, but you are passing 3. 1, 2, 3. Then what to do? What to do? Tell me quickly what to do. Come on, what to do then? Next time asking the question, what to do then? I must. What to do then? What to do then? You people are out of order. You don't know. You are not practicing. You need to say what? You need to say what? You are out of order. Suppose if you say A comma B, if I write it, A comma B, if I write it, here if I write it, self dot A, you are lack of practicing. That's why you are out of order. If I write self dot B, who is getting a problem here? Who is getting a problem? Only Devulapalli Kushal is following me. Others are waste. If I write like that, who is satisfying? This one is satisfying. What about this? Again problem, no? Are you following me? That's why when you are in the class, you should have some lot of create lot of intelligence is required. So you are expecting one more constructor is required. You are expecting. So I'm not saying that Devulapalli Kushal is saying that. He is at least answering what to do. Now I am writing comma A comma B. It is called a parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor I am writing. This also will give you error. Why, sir, error? Why? Already in the methods time I said init and init. Same method name. It will give the preference for what? Latest method only, latest function only. Latest, where I said that in the functions. I'll show you. When you go to the 6 p.m., when you go to the functions now, variable arguments example concept, variable arguments example one concept, if you go, this program will not execute and all those things I said. This program will not execute as it is because the PVM performs an interpretation process. It takes the latest function definition only. So function with 4, function with 3, like that I have. It takes the latest one only. Similar manner here also, it takes the latest one only. This constructor will give a problem. Here fourth one, 10th one given a preference, it won't go for 19th one will not be given a preference. Let us go to that. Let us go to this place. Py execute. See the answer now. First one is giving a problem here. First one is giving a problem now. First one is giving a problem. That indicates this is the problem. So how do you do that? That indicates one cannot write both default and parameterized constructor. Is it clear, my dear students? Is it clear? Is this wording is clear? Can I define? People will ask a question. Is it clear for writing? Is it possible to write multiple constructors in the same class? Is it possible to write multiple constructors in the same class? Not possible. Then how can I handle this situation? How can I handle this situation? To handle this situation, I have one beautiful idea. What is that idea? Default constructor job is what? Placing 1, 2. Okay, remove. That you remove. That you remove. That you people remove. This you remove. Okay. What you do? Apply the default arguments concept. A is equal to 1 you write, B is equal to 2 you write. This is acting as what? Both the default as well as what? Parameterized constructor. Start. When you say this one, what will happen? T1 address will go to self and no more data is coming. That time A and B will take it as what? 1, 2. Assigning 1, 2. That time you write self dot A you write it, self dot B you write it. What is happening? A value 1 and 2 will be placed for default. When you go to this line, what will happen? T2 address is placed in self, 10 is placed in this A, 20 will be placed in this B. So that time it is going to contain self.A, self.B values are printed. I hope you are understanding. I resolved the problem of multiple constructors by using which concept? By using which concept? Default arguments concept, I sorted it out. Execute my example. See, my dear students, see the beautiful answer. What is this now? Attribute test.a. What is this now? Self dot. Okay, simply a student. Okay, simply a, not a self dot. Sorry, it is a a. So a. This is called a, and this is called a b. B I need to write. Execute and see the answer now. I got it. Default values 1, 2, parameterized 1, 10, 20. You execute one more time. You execute one more time. No problem. You say T2. You say T2, T3, 100 and 200. No problem. You execute which constructor? Parameterized constructor. Okay. You want to create one more object. T4. T4 you say. Here I am writing. Only one value I want to pass it. 300. 300 will go to where? T4 will go to self. 300 will go to where? A. No, B value still remains what? 2 only. Are you following that? Single parameter only. No parameters. Through two parameters. See how I'm writing it. Everything is answerable to what? This one. Execute. Execute. See the answer now. A value 300. B value is 2. A value 300. B value is 2. There I am writing it. Suppose you want to pass this 300 to B, I will write keyword arguments I will use in the constructor. B is equal to, let it be, you pass it. Suppose you want to go for like this. Look at T4, T5 is equal to, I'll write B is equal to, I will write it. B is equal to. That time it will go to B only, A remains 1 only. You execute it, see the answer now, got it. A1 and B is this one. A300, B is 2. Is it clear? I'm using keyword arguments with the constructor in OOPS. So this is known as what? Passing the data to the constructor. Message passing only we can call. Suppose I want to pass B value. Your own value you want to pass it. B is equal to something like, Python I want to pass it. Python. Now A is equal to Django I want to pass it. Django I want to pass it. This is passing dynamically data. Django I am passing. Then run this now. Run this now. T6 I will take it. T6 I will take it. No problem. You are passing perfectly. Any kind of data you can pass it. That means I'm solving this total issue by using no parameters, integer parameters, two integers, single integer, keyword argument, any sort of data you can pass it. So is it possible to define multiple constructors in a class of Python? Is it possible to write it quickly? Is it possible to write it? No. It is possible to write multiple constructors knowledge into a single constructor with which concept? With which concept? With which concept? Default arguments concept. Default arguments concept, you can use it. So I'm going to show you one simple documentation now. Let us look at that, students. Oops, here. I'm going to take up constructors here. Under that, types of constructors. See, students, in Python programming, we have two types of constructors. They are default or parameterless constructor, parameterized constructor. Default or parameterless constructor. I'm writing here, a default constructor is parameterless constructor is one which never takes any formal parameters except self. Except self. Only self is taking, no parameters taken. The purpose of default constructor is, or parameterless constructor is that to initialize multiple objects of same class with the same values. With the same values. Syntax def underscore init underscore underscore of self, block of statements, performs initialization process. Program for demonstrating default constructor. Default constructor example 1.py. Class test def underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. I am from default constructor. Self dot a, self dot b, a value, b value printed. Default constructor. Three things, same values. Parameterized constructor taking always formal parameter after self. Taking formal parameter after self. The purpose of parameterized constructor is that to initialize multiple objects of same class with the default values. With the default values. Multiple objects of same class with the different values. I mean, def underscore underscore init underscore self comma list of formal parameters, block of statements, performs initialization process, close. Next examples demonstrating parameterized constructor. Init k comma v got the data. Parameterized constructor. Done. Parameterized constructor. Most important point. Note that in a class of Python, we can't define both the default and parameterized constructor because PVM can remember only latest constructor. Why? Due to its interpretation process. To fulfill the need of both default and parameterized constructor, we define single constructor with a default parameter mechanism, which is already discussed in our classes. See that? Demonstrating parameterized and default. Self k is equal to 1, v is equal to 2, default and parameterized, and we got the data. And we have t1 is equal to t2 is equal to default is written and parameterized is also written. Did you understand this mechanism, students? Is it clear now? Is this concept is clear now? Good. So this is about come to the index of it. Now see the answer now. What is the need of constructor? Observe constructors in OOPS. Importance and purpose of constructors. Types of constructors. Default constructor. Parameterized constructor. Rules for using constructor. Programming examples also done. This is a part of that. When you come to the syntax for defining a class, see that inside of class, things present inside the class. Data members already done. Methods already done. Constructors default are parameterless, and next is what? Parameterized constructor. So this is about constructor can be written. When I go to an interview, what is a class? I'll tell a class is a collection of data members, methods, constructors I will tell. This is my commitment on the subject part. You also need to explain the same way in the interviews. Don't tell like your academic answers. A class is a collection of objects. Blunder that is. With a class, we can create an object. See how much knowledge is there here. That is the point to remember now. Are you following, my dear students? Is it clear about it? Constructors concept is clear. Next, is it clear, students? Well, now students, when I come on Monday class, Monday, I will introduce what? Destructor I will introduce. Destructor I will introduce. So Monday, offline, online. So I will come to the offline class for Monday. So the ID related, Monday related ID, as usual, admins will send as usual like a previous only. How previous mechanism like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday like that, they will send like that only. Okay. Now Monday, online, offline, offline, online, that will be done. So coming to the point of it, I'll stop my class. Any doubts are there? I'll take the doubt session. Take care, students. Monday, don't miss it. Come to the point of it. So here, Thakur Ganesh, when you will send interview questions, I'm not sending. My notes itself is for interview part. For interview part itself is my notes. You have to read my total notes. Then only you will fit for interviews. I am not going to give any important questions. Important questions means it is not an academic exam. Anything they can ask, my notes will give you complete knowledge. Okay, right. So coming to the point of it, any doubts are there? I'll just want to clarify your doubts. Okay, students, take care. Coming to the point of it, I'll go for, okay, students, anything is missing. Oops, emp.py, example not uploaded. Not uploaded, you said. I will look into that. I'll look into that. I'll post it. Okay, so I'll just look into that and I'll post it, students. Not an issue. Okay, so I'll take online doubts. If any doubts are there in online, I'll take into that. So take care, students. Oh, okay. Samiuddin, voice is much better compared to previous days. Yes. Okay. No issue. So, see, students, I'm not responsible for recording videos. Anything is there, talk to the admins and take care recording. Subject doubt is there. I'm here. Recordings, I'm not responsible. If any recording required, talk to admins. That's all. So, no disturbance in today's class. It's everything is fine in today's class. If anybody joined late and all, I'm not responsible. Yesterday, before 24 hours, I put a link in the Google Classroom. That is you have to take care. Okay, right. Students, I'll take the online students. Thank you, students. All the best. Any doubts are there? Within few seconds, I'll connect to you. Online students, any doubts are there? I will take care. Anil Adav.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil. Tell me.
Yes, sir. Actually, means last week or before that, the link was very smooth. Now it is very difficult to join the classes at the time.
Hmm.
So every day, changing the link is very difficult for us to join on time.
See, ma, I will tell you one thing. See,
Hmm.
my dear student, I cannot do anything. I have to take care about my class. Link and all, you tell them to admins, ma.
Actually,
And
I
you
messaged
understand.
the admin. He said that today there is no class.
No class, ah.
They said I have a SMS
Ah,
WhatsApp message.
see, ma, yesterday only I posted my link, ma. So, see, I posted to our students all the link. Now, I myself will show you now. Please look at myself only. I posted the link, ma. So with whatever is there in my hand, I will take care, my dear student. Something is not there in my hand, I cannot take care, ma. And you don't misunderstand me because even certain things are not there in my hand. Because if link problem coming, because I have to take care about my classes. See that yesterday only I posted our class. This is the one. Yesterday only posted this link or not.
Yes, sir. But they have given meeting ID different.
Mm, No,
2510495, that meeting ID was
uh,
different.
so this is I posted already. This is the link officially I posted.
Okay.
In every online and offline, and both of them I posted.
I think
Myself only
today
posted.
many student did not join because of that link. I struggled 40
I
minutes, then I got a actual link, and then I started listening the class. I think I missed 40 minutes almost.
this I posted already. This I posted already yesterday
Sir,
only.
if possible, 2 days and one more days
Mm.
video, if you post na, so that will help.
Contact them. Contact them, and try to find out from them.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir, you just
Because
tell them your word will be means they will follow
definitely,
your word.
definitely. Because I already posted from my side. I'm very. I put my link,
Okay,
and this is the link I said. And if anything is there, you contact them. I will also tell them. Okay.
Okay, right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Next, Tulasi.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, in the constructor, can we write the in place of I am from constructor at that place? Can we write the in which objects details are printed?
No, no, be clear in your doubt. Be clear. Don't get confused. What is your doubt?
In the constructor program,
Ah,
in the first when we are printing I am from default constructor or I am from the parameterized constructor, at that place
ah,
can we print in which objects details are printed?
what is that?
In that print place, can we print which objects details are placed when we are calling multiple
Self
objects?
data, self data, self data. I already said in the beginning only. Self dot ID, ID of self. You can write it. Beginning days only. I said. ID of self. S1 data is coming. Beginning data only. ID. I already said. ID of self. To see. Coming to the point of it. Constructor example 1.py. Beginning only. I said this thing. You must practice my notes. So done. Different type of addresses are there initialized with that. Beginning only I said. During the method time only I said. Okay, na?
No, no, sir. Actually, when we are using static method or the class method, in that place we are when we are calling different objects, at that place we can mention in which objects data is printed in the
Hmm.
lower. So I
See,
was asking
I'm
for
not
that.
understanding. I'm not understanding your English. So you are asking
Okay,
which
sir.
object data is initialized. I am printing. Which object data is initialized? I am printing the ID. There also ID. Here also ID. Static method, instance method. In all the places, ID of self only placed.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, in previous day, you said them to post the audio recording link of a class method, but they didn't post. So, can we explain one of that example? So,
No, no, man, I said already to you the same wording. That was 45 minutes session. I cannot explain 45 minutes session once again. I
but
asked them
there's
to uh, see,
already
ma,
twice I asked them, and you said also, but
mm,
they do not provided that
then
recording, sir.
what can I do, ma? What can I do? See, I'm also
And due
helpless
to
in that regard.
And due to this app also, in I started from the starting and the classes are going smoothly, but when in between that class, sometimes the voice is going and it is not showing the screen. That happens all that thing. Due to that problem, they are not responding to change that app also.
That's what, ma, I cannot do anything. No, I said, even I said to admins also, take care. I said, they are not taking, but I'm taking my classes smoothly. But if app is not working, what can I do, ma?
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, are Django class are you taking?
No, ma, I'm not taking Django. Right now, I'm having complete all batches are there.
Okay, sir.
Right. Siddhi. Student name is Siddhi. Siddhi?
Yeah, hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Siddhi, please tell me.
Sir, like the August 7th, you guys started from Zoom to WebEx, right? So
Hmm.
on that day, I could not able to join the class, and I missed like
So
almost
I
one.
tell you one thing, student, when you are feeling any difficulty, send the message to the admins. You send a email. You send a
No,
email.
no. Yeah, I have sent an email. The response I got is like they're saying since the class is going on WebEx, the video is not available
So
to share.
that is not my problem now, Siddhi. You understand me. What can I do for that? You tell me. Hmm?
Yeah, sir, I mean like one if I mean like even if admin share one video, I don't think we will exploit that one, right? I
That's
mean,
correct, Ma. You are saying very true point. But what can I do in that regard? If they are saying that video is not available, what can I do? You tell me. Because I cannot do anything else now for that. I'm also helpless in that regard. But I'm keeping my efforts to explain the class.
correct. So what is the reason, sir, why you guys move from Zoom to WebEx?
That's what even I said. Zoom is good, but they shifted to this place. Even that reason also need to find out.
Okay. Okay, sir. No issues. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you talk to admins and find out.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Thanks.
Right. Right. Next, Farhana.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma.
How are you, sir?
Tell me, fine, ma. Fine, Farhana. Tell me, ma.
So, sir, before I was 4 p.m. batch trainer, sir, so I don't have access of 6 p.m. batch. No, sir, I have asked to admin. He said he is unable to send link because there is a crash. So, due to that, I am unable to take the information, sir, of 6 p.m. batch.
Off.
6 p.m. batch link I don't have, sir, notes. I have 4 p.m. batch. Before I was 4 p.m. batch student.
Mm,
So
mm,
now I'm 16 taking a sir. So I asked the admin that send me the Google link. So he
mm.
told he's unable to send because there is a crash something. He from many days I'm asking sir. I don't have and today given me that wrong link. I waited me so much
See, ma,
and
Farhana, I will tell you one thing, ma, because I posted the link of class today in this. Of
yes
course, you
sir you
don't have
have
the address, you don't have the ID. See, ma, see, regarding the subject doubt, I will take care. Other things, I don't have the answers for it.
sir no
Other
sir.
than correct, ma, what you are saying is correct. But other than the subject, I don't have any other answer. I can listen like what you are saying, but I don't have the answer for it. I have the answer about my subject. You ask me my
Sir,
subject, I can explain. Other than that, I don't have answers, ma, please.
sir, can you send me 6 p.m. batch link?
Link I cannot send it. They only will send it. Link, there is a separate team. Faculty separate, link is separate. They will take care about it.
So for many days I'm asking sir, no response early.
So they only will take care, ma, because other than subject, if you ask any other question, I don't have any answer for that.
No sir, subject no problem. It is outstanding sir. That problem is from there only sir.
That's what, ma. I cannot do anything else for that. You solve that problem with admins only.
They are not responding fast sir.
So I cannot tell, ma. I don't have the answer. If you ask 100 times also, I don't have the answer. Other than subject, I don't have the answer.
Okay sir. Thank you sir for the
Right, ma.
explanation.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. Okay, students, take care. I'll post the notes of this and download it and take care.